recall when Meghan Markle decided to sign on to become a very short-term member of the British monarchy, she famously said, didn't she, in that interview with Michelle Hussein, that actually acting was in the past. She wanted to hit the ground running, of course, with her newfound role. Of course, very quickly she got kind of bored with that newfound role, and we know how that ended up. But it's interesting to note because Meghan's often said that she's now through with acting. But is she being honest as ever? Let me explain. Good to see you today. Thank you so much as ever for taking the time out to join me. I'm talking to you. Yes, of course. You're all right. Isn't this nice? This is just a little piece here in Kensington Park. I don't really know what it was for. I think it may have been for to sort of exercise the horses and stuff previously. Now it's not used for that, but it's just a nice little enclave, isn't it? You've got to find somewhere safe, as I've said, particularly with your phone, you know what I mean? Look out for everything. I know I'm saying nothing at this point, living in fear. Don't worry, I have a good person at the side here who is too camera shy, but works for Kensington Parks, who's very kindly said he'll be my bodyguard. Lovely fella, so well done. I won't put you down. No, don't worry, just stand there. You're fine, honestly. Now, let's get back to your royal story of the day. You know, it's a funny thing, isn't it, when you think, because Meghan Markle, as I said, claimed she didn't want to act anymore. That was it, you know. Her part in Suits was the big pinnacle of her career. She never made it in Hollywood. She had bit parts in a few movies that were very forgettable, some incredibly racy, some that you would be perfectly ashamed of, but apparently not Meghan, you know. No. And the tissue of lies apparently about William and Catherine loving Suits, well, we know that was a fake story as well. But what's interesting here, you see, is now the show that she found her fame on, literally in Suits, is now being given away virtually for free, all part of the BBC iPlayer. It's been in syndication now for a long time. She does get residuals from that, although not the millions that people claim she does. Television doesn't pay that much money, let me tell you. Doesn't matter what you've been in or what you've been doing, it's not that profitable. But of course, Meghan, then, you know, there was a story going that she may be coming back to the rebooted Suits, which is coming via NBC Universal really soon. Patrick J. Adams and the rest of the crew are going to be back, although it was interesting, I found, with him, because of course he got told off, didn't he, for posting pictures of Meghan on the previous set. Remember that? That didn't go down too well. But you see, one thing that's ignited Meghan's interest about a return is simply this. As you know, right now, there's currently in production a third movie of that splendid serial written by Julian Fellowes, of course, which is Downton Abbey, alongside all the usual stars, Hugh Bonneville, all of that sort of stuff. It was a television spectacular, and then, of course, has now moved over to cinema, which is raking in a lot of people to go and see it. And I like that idea, the fact that they're going back to proper stories and lush productions. The story goes that NBC Universal have not ruled out a movie version of Suits. Yes, and that's exactly what I'm telling you. Apparently it wouldn't be too adverse to a role in the movie version. And this actually plays very well into NBC Universal's publicity. You will read more about this in the coming months, but remember, you're hearing it here first on our channel. What's interesting, you see, is it would work perfectly well for her. It shoots her back up, doesn't it, with the publicity. She doesn't have to be in it for too long, so it's not that demanding. And of course, they could have a small cameo role. They get acres of publicity, and she, of course, gets to act once again in front of the cameras, no doubt for something of a fat fee. Now, while all of her team will say, no, it's not true, the other side of her team is saying this will be one area that Meghan will be very much interested in. And you know the team I'm talking about, who are trying to get her back on track and get some positive publicity. So when this does re-emerge as a fully fledged story, remember, I told you about this first. Now, the bottom line is, what do the rest of the cast feel, who famously said that she's not in their WhatsApp group anymore and they've no idea exactly how to get in contact with her? Will they suddenly all become chums if they need each other to make the movie a success? Of course they will. This is Hollywood. Neil Sean, Kensington Park, London.